How do you know you need to fix your gut bacteria? How do you know you have gut dysbiosis?
Well, is it maybe because you have a lot of gas? Or maybe because you're overweight and you're not eating any vegetables? I would say you would know your gut is kind of messed up if you're not eating any
Some people
vegetables.
have no idea. They're so disconnected from their poop and their bellies that they just don't even
Your
have any
skin.
idea.
You told me a lot about your skin. If you're on antibiotics, your gut microbiome is compromised. If
Yeah.
you have bad
If you're
skin,
taking any pharmaceuticals, it definitely alters your gut microbiome whatsoever.
I'm so grateful when I was 320 pounds, you never let me go on drugs.
They offered you a lot of drugs.
They literally wanted me on every single drug.
We went to the neurologist, we went to the sleep specialist, we went to the medical doctor, we went to the psychiatrist, the psychologist.
You guys, guess what I had to do to fix it all? I just had to lose weight. Wow.
Do you remember we were in the kitchen and you wanted me to hire this new therapist and it was going to push our therapy costs out of pocket over $2,000 a month and I couldn't afford it as it was. And I was like, all right, Penelope, I'll do it, but you have to meet me halfway. And you were not happy about it. But I was like, either I'm going to send you away to a therapeutic boarding school or I'm going to send you to your dad's house, which at the time you were not interested in. Now you'd be happy about that. But you were like, you were so pushed up against it when I was like, you have to meet me halfway. And I basically bribed you and I threatened you. And I'm not proud of it, but it kind of worked because I knew that if you started to implement some of these things, you'd be less depressed, less anxious, and you would hopefully lose weight. But I knew at the very least you'd be less anxious and depressed because I knew that was standing in the way from you taking action in your life. It was really, really fascinating. And I believe that depression and anxiety is directly related to gut dysbiosis or your gut microbiome. And now there's actually research showing that there's a gut brain axis and they are directly connected.
So, how does somebody watching fix their gut microbiome or even start to think about fixing it? Because the sugar and flour addiction is so real. I remember it really deeply. I was so hooked. I'd have a loaf of bread every day, a whole loaf of bread with sugar jam and butter all over it. And it was like my comfort food. It was like the only thing that would give me a hug from the inside.
It's a process. It's a process. And it's not overnight that you're going to rehabilitate your gut microbiome. And even if you go see your gastrointernist or a gut microbiome specialist, that'll cost you several $1,000s out of pocket just to start the process. That seems like a lot. But you should know that when you eat processed food, when you go and you buy a bag of Doritos or you drink that Pepsi Cola, you are literally in the grips of what food scientists have created an expertise around, which is called the bliss point. They know that there's a bliss point in your brain, in your neurology, and they have engineered the food to overtake and hijack your taste buds. And in the same way, they're also altering your gut microbiome. So the first step I would say is eradicate processed food from your life. And I know I'm saying that like it's easy, and I know it's not. But the steps you can take is just going to the grocery store and buying other things, whole foods ideally, and starting to replace your favorite things with whole foods. So if you love chips, learn to make chips. Penelope made some awesome chips the other day. They were so good. She cut up a tortilla and she baked it and she put some seasoning on it and it was phenomenal. Maybe you start popping your own popcorn. Maybe you start, I don't know, making your own hummus.
You make your own ice cream. I have a really simple recipe that's coming out soon. And it's so simple. It's ridiculous.
And everyone loves it. And it's healthy. It's got protein. And you won't feel hungry. It's a natural GLP-1.
Whole thing for 250 calories. What the heck? Yeah.
You can eat the whole thing. You can eat a whole pint of ice cream and
25 grams of protein.
amazing.
What are you waiting for?
So that's the first step. If you want to rehabilitate your gut microbiome, you absolutely need to populate your gut with fiber and phytonutrients. And you need to start to eradicate sugar and chemicals from your diet and life. And there's chemicals all around us. There's chemicals in the stuff we wash our clothes with, the soap we use for our dishes. There's chemicals in the paint, in the carpets, in our clothes. So you can't avoid it. In our cars. So you can't avoid it, but you can avoid the chemicals in your food system.
Yeah.
Because that's going directly into your body. Now, clearly, if you're breathing the air, you have chemicals in the air, right? You can't avoid it, but you can try to reduce it. And as you start to stop eating those foods, the processed foods, and the sugar, hopefully, and the chemicals, the bacteria that have been living on those elements will start to die off. And slowly but surely, it's like a garden, it'll start to flourish and thrive. You'll have regular bowel movements, you'll have less bloating. And I'm making it sound really easy. It's not linear. Our journey to getting back our gut health was not linear. but it was a step-by-step process.
At the start of my weight loss journey, I got rid of my PCOS by eating more fiber, by eating protein. That was great. And then I started going really crazy in the middle of it, like trying to lose more weight in really aggressive ways. And that really harmed me and harmed my body and it created some gut issues for me, if you will. And then I solved that by going way higher protein, way smaller portion of fiber. So I sometimes don't eat fiber ever. I just eat much smaller portions and certain kinds. So I kind of have like intolerances, if you will, to certain kinds of fiber, which
Right
a lot
now.
of people have.
I know.
A lot of people have that. So if you have that, you just eat fiber that you can tolerate in smaller portions. You don't cut it out completely, because I know there's like the carnivore craze going on right now, and I did try that, but that made for me, carnivore made me worse. It was the worst. Like I was just 25 pounds, like almost like 20, 15 pounds of constipation from it. And so usually people say it doesn't happen to them, but it happened to me. And a girl even commented in our video about it. She was like, "Oh, it really helped me. I'm so sorry it didn't help you." And I was like, "Yeah, I wish it did, but because it was tasty. I mean, who doesn't love eating steak every day?" But I love steak. Yeah, steak is amazing. But so anyway, yeah.
So I just think it's helpful to note that everyone's not the same. And where we are with our toxicity in our food system and our soil deprivation of nutrients, we do have a gut microbiome crisis. And I do believe it is contributing to the obesity epidemic and the chronic disease epidemic that we're facing in the United States of America. And in order to turn it around, we have to take steps. So eliminate processed food, consider eliminating sugar and other chemicals that are harmful. And there's so much more. We offer a gut microbiome course as a bonus when you join our program. And we talk a lot about it. And we talk about it more specifically with the women in our group. So if you're interested in joining, definitely click the link in the description. And we know that it's possible. Penelope's lost 160 pounds with no loose skin. I've lost about 100 pounds, and it is absolutely possible. Your body can heal itself, and we believe it happens from the inside out.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And comment down below if you've ever experienced gut microbiome issues, challenges, or if you're healing your gut microbiome as we speak. We'll see you all the time.